Okay, so this is my 3D Sony Vegas text tutorial. Apparently I was way too quiet last time, which I was because my parents were home and I didn't want to look like a jackass. So first thing you want to do in with 3D text is you want to go insert text, default text. I'm just going to insert it into the storyboard. I'm going to title it Nocturnal Dreams. That's what me and my friend made up, because we're going to make a dual-tage in the summer if I ever get my Xbox back. But, there we go. I'm going to extend the clip to about 15 seconds, or like 13 seconds. That should be enough. First thing you want to do is make the compositing mode 3D Source Alpha for this track. The original preset is Source Alpha, but 3D Source Alpha allows you to turn the text 3D, or whatever you have on that video track. So I'm going to go to track motion, and I'm going to make the Y of the orientation 77. So that you see how it goes over there. And then I'm going to move down this video clip a bit. I'm going to make the orientation 0. So that you see between those two clips, it spins. So, a cool thing the first thing you want to do after that is you want to duplicate the track. So I duplicated the track, and now I want to go to Video Effects. This is where you can actually make it look more 3D. I had a Gaussian blur, reset to none, add it to the top track, and I want to make the horizontal range about 0.09 or 0.110. There we go. That looks pretty sick. So now you'll see it will kind of look more 3D with the spin. It looks like it actually has something added onto it. So there you go. It looks a bit cooler. And sometimes I tried this once. You can change that to alpha. You can uncheck the alpha box. It makes it look kind of cool, grayish, but I wouldn't do that. But then you want to add a glow effect. Reset to none. Add it to the top track. Make the glow percent 500, or 500, 0.5, and then make the intensity 0.9. So you don't have that much intensity, but you add this little. Well, actually, I'm gonna make the intensity a bit higher. So I'm gonna make the intensity 1 or 2. There, 1.3. And I'm going to make the glow percent a bit less, 4.09. So right now, you can see how it has that 3D look now. Looks a bit cooler too. Right now my text is kind of queer, so I'm just going to change the text. I'm going to make it 28 days later. And whatever you do the top track, you got to do the bottom. Whatever you do the bottom track, you have to do the top as well. Kind of like fucking math. But no, you didn't have to do that because we duplicated this track. So, then you want to add another video track. Once you've done that, you want to go to Media Generators, add a noise texture, standard turbulence. It doesn't really matter what turbulence you're doing. Like, I'm going to add blood cells. So I've added the blood cells, and right now that looks extremely queer. But I'm going to make it dodge. The compositing mode will be dodge. So right now you can see how it already looks a bit cooler, but I'm going to take the opacity down just a bit so that the text is a bit clear. So then I'm going to go to back, edit video media generators or whatever it says. First keyframe stays the same. So last keyframe at the very end of the clip, you want to make the progress 10, and you want to change the X and Y of the offsets by just a bit. If you change it by too much, it will move too fast, and it's going to ruin the effect. And then I usually change the amplitude just a bit, and the bias a bit. So there we go, or the grain a bit. So now if we watch that, you see how everything's moving. Like, it's kind of hard to see in my version because I have it on low quality as well. But if I take it to high quality, and apparently my laptop is freezing. Oh, there we go. Take it to high quality, you can see all the text better. It just looks really, really cool. It's a really cool effect. Sometimes I've gone to the extreme of adding two noise textures. Like, a really cool one to add is lightning. You should always add this one because it really doesn't do much, but it moves across. So I'm going to make it dodge again. And you'll notice now you have this little electric bolt, which looks extremely fucking sick. And wow, I've never done this. I've never made it look that good before, so I'm kind of proud of myself. So I'm just gonna, and for this one especially, you don't want to make the offsets too much different. Otherwise, it's gonna move too fast. So I changed it a bit. I'm gonna change the grain. And now let's watch that. This should look a lot better. So it's hard to see right now, but it is sick how the bolts will move across the text. So yeah, usually you might want to put the opacity down for that a bit so it kind of goes with it more. You see, like, I'd probably put it to 75. And now you see the bolts they kind of look like they're with the background. And yeah, that's basically how you do 3D text. Make it look sexy. You don't have to do it exactly how I did it. I've used many different noise textures, but that's basically how you do it. If you want to add some lens flares, you would add another video track. You would add a media generator, solid color, make it black, and then you would go to the compositing mode and make the composite mode add, and you just add a lens flare. And when you add a lens flare, you want to make it go across the text. But it's a bit over the top for that, but while the text moves, you want it to move with the text. So like, if the text is going in 3D, just make it move with the text. And then I'm not going to do the whole thing, but when it finally finishes, when it's standing still, you want it to move across the text just like that. So, and just put it to the very end of the text. And yeah, that's basically it. And just enjoy your 3D text and don't overdo it, I guess. And thank you.